can you take a user and get them to build a habit around your tool? That's the question I'm exploring this week. Welcome back to Listen to Leo. In today's video, I wanted to walk through the process of how I think about user activation and getting people to not only join my app, but continue using it and turn it into something that they do on a regular basis. So let's start with the problem. I've got a chatbot. Let's pretend that this chatbot is phenomenal and it will give you the answers as long as you're asking the questions. What does the problem become? Remembering to visit the chatbot and ask the questions. I'm totally guilty of this, and I'm sure you are too, but let's walk through it. How often do you sign up for a new tool and say, this is going to change my life. This is going to be everything I've ever wanted. And you sign up and you play with it for a few minutes, and then you go off doing something else and you forget that it ever exists. And then maybe you get a marketing email and say, oh yeah, I keep meaning to get back to that. But you never do. That is something that I'm really trying to avoid for a couple different reasons. Not only because I obviously want people to use my app, and especially if they sign up for it and pay for it, I want them to actually be getting value out of it. But mostly, I'm really trying to help people who are building in public do so effectively and consistently. And consistently, I think, is the part that most people have the most trouble with. It's really easy to share what's going on when everything is going well. It's all going according to plan. You're making a ton of money. And then you're not. And then the doubt comes in. And you miss a post. Then you miss another. And before you know it, you're kind of just folding in on yourself and not engaging with the outside world because it's no fun now. You're not winning. But I'm going to help my users avoid that. And the way that I'm planning on trying to help them is with a weekly prompt. I'm going to start off weekly. Could also do it daily. That part's pretty easy. Gotta just pick when I run this. But based on how I've structured my code, it's very easy for me to start a new chat. And once I have a chat, I can pretty easily send messages to that chat and give it something to start off with. And the UI can display that. And so what this means is I can actually create a chat session seeded with a prompt and email a link to the user that will let them sign in and have that question in front of them. And so if I can do this on a weekly basis and have prompts like, what are you planning on getting done this week? All of a sudden, this has multiple effects. First of all, it gets them thinking about what they're doing this week. Next, it brings them to the site and has them interacting with the chatbot, at which point they can continue interacting down that conversation thread. They can start a new one. They can do whatever they want. But then it also builds up these patterns over time that then I'll be able to build features on top of. Oh, you have all of these weekly posts on what you wanted to do. What if we just turn those into a tweet or a Twitter thread or a LinkedIn post? We have that data. So what if we send another email toward the end of the week and say, hey, how's it going? Are you able to accomplish this? This takes the conversation outside of the realm of just the app. And because I've already got the ability to create these conversations and I've got the ability to send emails from the app and all of that, this all becomes very, very straightforward to do. And this is something that I'm really excited about using AI for in terms of getting user activation, keeping that conversation going, keeping them engaged, and helping them achieve their goals. And so, from the technical standpoint, it's really not terribly hard. I've got a Celery task that I can schedule and have it run. I'm currently using Loops for transactional emails, which honestly, it's been super easy to use so far, and that's been great. I already have the infrastructure in terms of using LangChain to be able to pull in a conversation history and manage it. I've got my UI already displaying the conversation, so that part's trivial. And so it's all about taking the prompt and crafting an email. And honestly, starting off, I'll probably just use a hard-coded email that seems just as easy. Mostly I want to see if early users are even clicking the link to fill out the form to start that conversation. If they're not, none of this matters. But I do believe that this is a great way to really get conversations going, make sure that users are coming back, and build up a knowledge base of information about what they're doing that I can then reflect back to them and help them see the good times when sometimes things don't go so well, when they are struggling. It's okay to fail. And in fact, we learn way more from failing than we do from succeeding. If you're not failing, you're not pushing yourself out of your comfort zone nearly enough. But it is hard to talk about that. And I'm hoping that by building a habit of talking about what you're doing and how it went, and then taking that conversation from within the chatbot to social media or communities or to your WhatsApp group, whatever. Wherever you're talking about it, I want you to talk about it with people, and I want you to get in the habit of that. Because that's really how we build trust. It's how we get better at communication. And ultimately, that's what makes us successful. So thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.